Throughout the year, I will make reference to active learning. This is versus passive learning. Active learning better engages the brain in learning the material at hand. Self-quizzing is an example of active learning. Instead of just staring at a map and trying to memorize, actually creating your own quiz, seeing what you know, seeing what you don't know, and grading yourself. That's active learning. The Cornell two-column notes is also an example of active learning. So instead of just passively reading through your in-class notes, the two-column method requires you to engage the material by coming up with self-quiz questions. What we're going to talk about right now is the sq3r method for reading. The first S stands for skim. Some sources will use the word survey. So survey and skim, same idea. The second step is the question. You're looking through, you're skimming, you're asking yourself questions about the reading. And it is only the third step, not the first, where students should actually sit down and read word from beginning to end. But again, only read after you've activated the synapses in your mind by skimming and questioning and getting a big picture understanding of what the reading is about. This will enable your mind to better bring in information when you do start to read word from the beginning. The third R is for recite, and then review. The focus right now is going to be on the first two, the skim and the question. And here's one representation of the sq3r reading method. Survey, again, I use the word skim. Survey the titles, subheadings, look for any bold text. Look at the images and charts, any type of images and charts, and read the descriptions of those. That'll give you a big picture understanding of what the textbook is going to try to communicate. Question. Start to ask yourself questions about the reading before you actually start to read, just based on your surveying or your skimming. Then, once your mind is activated, you have a good understanding of what the reading is going to be about, though you don't know details yet because you actually have to read. Then you start to read word for word. Then the last two R's are to recite and obviously to review. We will use this assignment as a sample. Let's say that lesson or chapter 7, the American Revolution, reading the introduction, section 1, section 2, and section 3. If that was the assignment, before actually sitting down and starting to read word for word, skim first. Look at the titles. The American Revolution. Subtitles. How was the Continental Army able to win the war for independence from Great Britain? ? Introduction. Here's a photo. Take a look at the photo and then open it up. See what the description of the photo, what the photo is about. Battle of Brandywine. You may ask yourself, I wonder where Brandywine is located. I happen to know it's in Pennsylvania, my home state. But you start to ask yourself questions. There's some vocabulary here as well. You might want to take a look at those terms. You don't have to know them yet, but you're just ally, American Revolution, Continental Army, strategy. Okay. Section 1. Same thing. Read the titles, American Strengths and Weaknesses. Here you have American Revolution. Remember, you click on that, you get more of a definition. American Weaknesses, the Continental Army. Interesting. Maybe skim through some of this very briefly. American Strengths. Look at some of this down here. American Patriotism. You're just kind of reading through. You're activating the mind for the learning that is about to come. There's a photo. You would take a look at the photo. Then you would go to section 2 and do the same thing. The whole thing is going to take about 2 minutes. You're going to read the titles. You're going to look at the photo. You're going to read the description of what the photo is about. You're going to look very briefly at this information down here. If you don't understand a lot of it, that's okay, because you're just skimming right now. You're getting your mind prepared for the reading that's about to come. So skim and question before reading. Reading is only the third step, not the first.